Hey YouTube, I'm Ali, welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are keeping safe and looking after yourselves out there. Today I'm going to be looking at Kingdomino. This I think is a great little game. It's fun, it's quick to play and it's very easy to learn. I think this could be a really good gateway game, but is it the right game for you? Well, stick around and we'll find out. Kingdomino is a tile placement game that derives its origins from dominoes. Just like dominoes, each tile is a rectangle with two halves, two spaces. But here they show land types, woods, mountains, sea, that kind of thing. Each player chooses a player colour and receives a castle space, which they place in front of them. Players then take turns to pick tiles and lay them down around their castle to form a kingdom of no more than 5 by 5 spaces. At least one of the two halves of the tile you wish to lay down must match a tile already in your kingdom. The castle space is unique in that it lets you put any land space against it. The aim of the game is to fill your kingdom with tiles of matching land types. Importantly, you want to make sure that as many of those tiles as possible have crown symbols on them, because this will enable any connected land types to earn you points. You get 1 point per crown per connected land space. The aim of the game then is to build a kingdom that gets you the most points. Kingdomino is a great family game. No taboo subjects, clearly. Good to play with youngsters of 6, 7, I think. The box says 8. Go with 6, 7. They'll be fine. If it weren't for the pandemic, I'd even suggest playing this with grandparents. This is a great game to play with grandparents. If it weren't for the fact that we have this pandemic, I would heartily recommend that. Just like dominoes, great game to play with grandparents. Right. Number of players, 2 to 4 is what the box says. Yeah, play it with 4 players. We tend to play it with 4 players, much more fun than 2, I think, in this particular instance. How long does the game last? The box says 15 minutes, that's hooey, 10 minutes max. Each game takes about 10 minutes. We tend to play 4, because we play with 4 players, we tend to have 4 rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's the winner is the one with the highest number of points after 4 games. There we go. What kind of a game is this? Is this a board game or a card game? Well, I guess you could call it a board game, even though you're creating your own board. Each of you are creating your own little board with those tiles. Can you play this when traveling? There aren't many fiddly bits. The tiles are quite big, so potentially you could on a train journey. Not really a plane journey and not a car journey, but definitely something. The box you'll see in a little while is small enough to be carried as well, so it's probably a good game to take on a journey but not actually play when you're traveling. For rules, the rules are very simple in this game. It took us a couple of minutes to read the rule book. Very simple, very simple to understand. Took us less than 30 seconds to explain to a new person playing. So simple on the rules. In terms of depth of this game, well, there is some strategy to this game, so I'm going to go average on this, though it's tending towards average light rather than average heavy. In terms of interactions, this game is in direct conflict, so you're not targeting someone when you're playing them, but you're going to annoy them by picking up tiles they wanted. And then finally, is this a team game or a single game? Well, you're playing as a single player, so it's very much a single person game. In terms of mechanics then, 3 mechanics that spring to mind. Firstly, there's an element of drafting. You're going to draft out the tiles that you're going to then take. The second is pattern matching. You're trying to match 2 halves of the same together on your little grid in front of you. That's very important. And the third one, the obvious one really, is tile placement. This is a tile placement game. So what do you get in the box? Well, here is the box. You know what I like about this? It's a small, tiny box packed with all the key elements. I do like that. It's small and chunky. That's what I like about it. It's a nice sturdy box, small size, perfect for carrying around. What do you get in the box? Let's have a quick look. So first of all, you get a rule book. The rule book is multilingual, so there are multiple languages in this. It's quite a thick booklet because of that, but actually the rules themselves are spread only over a couple of pages. I think I'm 2 pages in, and that's the full rule set. Clearly explained, very simple to follow. Yeah, piece of cake to understand. Good set of rules there. Now, what do you get inside? Well, you do get an inlay. You can see the inlay just there, but the inlay serves a really good purpose. It does hold all the pieces in there really well. What are the pieces? Right, I mentioned that you get a square to start with where your castle sits. In front of you, that's your little square. So there are 4 of those because there are 4 different people that can play, of course. The castles themselves are these little quaint little cutouts, cardboard cutouts that are slotted together to form a 3D representation of your castle, each of a different colour, 4 of them. And you'll notice that the inlet allows them to sit upright. You don't have to take them to pieces afterwards. You get some little tokens here which nominate who goes order, the priority order in terms of choosing tiles. And then we get the domino tiles themselves. These are nice, thick, chunky cardboard. They've got a number on the back, and that's part of the rule set. There's an order in which you place these down. But each round you'll be picking one of these up and then playing with it. Again, nice, thick cardboard, very simple graphics on there. This particular one, you can see there's a field here, and there's looks like some sheep land here with 2 of those crowns. This is probably a very good card to get. So that's what you get in the box. Nice, compact. Yeah, really like the box. Perfect. Only a few words on theme versus mechanics here. I think they marry up really well in this game. The idea of replacing numbers on a domino tile with little land areas and then trying to get the most number of land areas to match together within a grid, really clever. I like that idea. So full marks for that. Did I make meaningful decisions in this game? Yes, you do. You make them every time you choose a tile. Not just because you want to see what fits on your board, not just because you want to see that you're getting the same matching half as something on your board that you want to get points for, but also your choice of tile will determine what order you take your next go in. Is that good English? I don't know. But yes, there are some meaningful choices to be made or meaningful decisions to be made in this game. Multiple paths to victory? No, there isn't. There's one. You have to get points. The way you get points, and the only way you get points, is by getting tiles of the same kind with crowns on them. So I'm only going to say there's one way of winning, and that's it. Which is fine. Skill versus luck, I think, are really well balanced in this game. Someone who's new may not know the number of land types that exist. So, for example, there are more farming land pictures than there are mountains, for example. So a new person might go for, I'm going to collect lots of mountains, and it turns out there aren't that many mountains to collect. But that's really the only difference in terms of skill, in terms of luck. I love the fact that, just like dominoes, you randomly select from tiles each game, so there's plenty of replayability there as well. Was I engaged? Yeah, you are engaged because you want to see what's going on. The game moves so quickly. 10 minutes is nothing. The game moves so quickly that you can't help but be engaged. And finally, clear, good iconography, clear legible text. Yeah, very, very, well, there's no text on those cards at all, but the iconography is very, very clear. Possibly when you first start, you might get some of the sort of the clay areas or the soil areas and the mountains mixed up. No, you're going to be fine. It's fine. It's really good. Go with that. It's good. I hope you found my review helpful in determining whether or not you think Kingdomino is a suitable game for you and your gaming group. I really do like it. It does come out occasionally in our gaming group. It's a great game to play with the older generation, I think, only because it is based on dominoes and everyone knows dominoes. It's a great, simple mechanic, really well realised in a modern board game. You can clearly see why it won 2017's Year of the Game. Now, if you've enjoyed this vid, please give me a thumbs up. If you really enjoy this channel and want to see more of this, or perhaps you're interested in some of the other stuff that I'm going to be doing and have done, like the game board design, or the board game design, and the interviews I've carried out there, or even the miniature painting that I started and need to finish, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, guys, look after yourselves.